popular guy on the team, Canadian Jesus.
Canadian Jesus.
King of the North.
Yeah. What's up, guys? This is Team Berserk's first inaugural team talk.
Basically, after that part, Canadian Jesus' mic cut out through the rest of the intro. So to summarize this team talk, we are going through every color around the board, seeing which cards we think will be banned. We'll start with black, and we'll go make our way all the way through to yellow and even multicolor. And we'll be talking about which cards we think are going to be hit with this huge new ban list.
Because it's my favorite color to play right now, we're going to do black first. And in my opinion, Demigra is going to get banned, or it's at least on the chopping block. I don't know if you guys have any 2 cents to add in there. Agree, disagree?
I'm gonna disagree with that, and I'm gonna say that the leader will be Jaudat rather than Demigra being banned.
Which leader? Are we talking about the best leader?
We're talking about the Dark Brawly leader. Yes, that one right there.
The best leader in the game? Yeah.
Yes.
I hope not, because the problem is, it's like I want to panic sell my Demigras, but I don't want to take the L if I sell them and have to find them again. So it's like I'm diamond hands with these Demigras right now.
Oh, guaranteed if that doesn't get banned, they're gonna shoot up to like 150 each. Just watch it.
And then I'm like, do I hedge my bets and sell 2 and keep 2, and
then see where it goes from there? You know what? That's the same boat I would be in, but I mean, I can see the ban going through, or at least a limit, because we have like baby Demigra or fair Demigra with the new King Vegeta SR. It's possible. I mean, Demigra is a solid turn to play in any black deck. I don't know if they'll touch the Dark Broly leader itself. But what I would like to still see is, man, Vegex, that thing just keeps pumping on. If we're talking black leaders that needs an errata, look, either just ban it to hell or put it down to have to attack or do something. Make it a burst 3. Like, it's too good. You don't have to do anything.
Hit 3 times and it's still tier 1.
I know. And I can't say anything because I've kept the deck throughout every one of those stages. I just can't bring myself to play it competitively because I'm like, if I go there once, I'm never coming back.
See, for me, when it comes to black, I'm going to have to agree with Jaudat there. And I do think the leader's going to be hit. I feel like it's going to be his backside when it comes to the combo power. They're probably going to do something similar like they did to Bobbity Super Combo. Instead of getting a 5k boost, it gets something like a 3k boost or a 2k boost.
The thing is that it basically becomes playable. You know what I mean?
I mean, they've done it to leaders before.
That's true.
This is my thing on this. If they're gonna neuter Dark Broly, do it a fucking favor and just kill it, because my gods, all I can think in my head is Surge Piccolo. Is just, why not just ban it? If they're gonna, but it's a cascading problem. Is the issue is I don't understand how they can hit Dark Broly without doing what they did to Surge Piccolo. Really, if they neuter it, it's just done.
The door's open to ban it too, because all the support cards say if your leader is a Dark Broly, and this leader is Dark Broly and Paragus, so theoretically there's room for a second Dark Broly leader. But
at the end of the day, I think banning Dark Broly is the worst choice, because the issue becomes is it opens up Pandora's box, and we're gonna have some weird shit happen in the meta if they do. So I actually kind of hope, even as many problems that come out of Dark Broly, I think it's ban Vegex. So I'm agreeing with Brownie on this one, and I'm gonna say just ban the Vegex leader, make something similar new, and just, I mean, they already announced and did the reboot for
Mass Saiyan.
So you can do the same thing. Just do a reboot of the leader.
if they hit for Dark Broly, I'll play Vegex. If they hit Dark Broly and Vegex, I'll play Gogeta Senna. Lucas?
Yeah,
I don't know.
If they hit both of them, you gotta play Meki Kabora in the next regionals.
Yeah, all of them. Yep.
I don't know. I'm going on the whole plane at Dark Broly. I've hated that deck since it's been out. Like it's too much. I feel no matter what happens in what set, there always is something that helps that deck out, and it's like, why? Like that news from set 13, that new 6-drop Broly where you get to play the 7-1 for 1 energy on top of it. It's like, why? Why you keep just giving it stuff unless you're just gonna kill it now. Like I don't know. I have a funny feeling that they're just gonna. I'm going more on the side that they'll errata something with it than banning it outright because they have so many cards for it that they're like, hey, maybe if we just do this and make it fair, then we can make all these cards, like all these decisions that we had to make all these extra cards, like make sense.
So,
I mean, like the video that they showed for the next set, there was a Dark Brawly in that one. So I mean, that right there tells me that they're probably not going to ban the leader, but I feel like he's still going to be hit. And realistically, changing the combo power from 5K to 3K, it doesn't neuter the deck, but it really takes away that defensive power and offensive power that the leader can give.
So here's my counter argument. They've already announced a reprinting set 11 where Dark Broly is, and there's not a chance. There isn't a chance they've already changed the card. This is an 11th hour thing. So Dark Broly's getting reprinted, and if they're reprinting the set with all the Dark Broly cards in it, right? The only thing to me that makes sense is you ban the support that wasn't set 11, which is like banning Demigra, limiting Brainwashed, those kinds of like the quote unquote tech cards around the deck. I think that's how you hit it.
I think they could just make some like hate cards for it, like they did for Baby.
Silver
like
bullets
what?
never help this game. Don't do silver bullets. I really hope they don't.
Not only that, if you make a silver bullet that turns off like drop and warp mechanics, you're nailing
You should have black.
black, yellow, like any overall
Dude,
mechanic.
This is the thing though, with black in general as a color is when it's strong, it's just amazing. But if you try and do something to hit the generic cards, it puts the entire color in a coffin again. Right? So I still think unless they just want to be like, all right, you know what, next 4 sets, black is just gonna be non-existent again. I think it's still gonna be an errata. Like it just makes the most sense on Dark Broly leader specifically. Because like I think it was Lucas, he was mentioning there's so much support, and then Armando also said it's all being reprinted. The easiest way that makes sense, the way Bandai has done it in the past, has just been the erratas, and it's like they print it without the errata anyways, and they're like, okay, refer to the errata list for what the actual effect is now, which isn't, it's annoying, especially for newer players, but it's Bandai to have the precedent set. Other than that, I don't know. I love black, so I don't really want to see any of those cards go either.
I think at the end of the day that covers black for us, but let's move on to
I
the
think
real victim of DBS, green.
Karl didn't get a shot.
Oh shit!
Karl's black.
Karl, you go.
Well, I would see that logically, Broly's gonna get hit, but like from a marketing point of view, that getting reprinted all the archetype wouldn't be wise. But I see it would be like logic. But I want to see Vegex burn to hell. That's my point of view. I like that. I hate that deck.
Karl, you had so much fun when we played, though. We're like, wow, Vegex is so great.
Oh yeah, just flip cards and play cards.
There is logistical support for hitting VJax because a new Black Starter is coming out, and right now there's no reason I would ever play a new Black Starter over VJax because VJax doesn't need to attack. It can draw turn 1, it can mill turn, etc. Right?
Just be
I
like,
gotta head out, guys.
So,
See Tyler.
See
Yeah.
ya.
See ya, man.
Peace out,
Yeah.
Tyler.
So Nick wanted to hit green.
Yeah. The true victim of DVS, green.
I mean,
It's gonna get hit the hardest somehow.
It better not be a
What's your
single King Cold card or I'll lose my mind. I finally found a deck I love, and now
So with King Cold doing so well, and in many regionals, I think King Cold might be a target.
yeah,
Okay, the only busted King Cold card is the free negate that pops something through less. Like
100%.
Yeah.
That's the best card in the deck.
yeah,
Well,
Royal
if-
Supremacy.
Honestly, I see them hitting the charismatic.
No,
I wouldn't be shocked if they hit charismatic. To be honest, I don't think there's any point hitting dormant. I
No.
think they've made it pretty clear that they've made it in such a point where that card can't really be abused anymore. But end of the day, I can see them just getting rid of Frieza charismatic and then doing something else that's maybe even like 6 or less or something like that. Because I don't really know what they. I don't think green needs to be hit, but if they're gonna hit something, that would be my guess.
And see, my guess for a green gets hit is Rebrand from Rob. Because
I don't need to.
but it's so
Put
good.
Deborah out.
Yeah, but like we're in a best of one format. Not everyone's doing that. Look,
Jets
when
and silver bullets don't work.
dude, we're in a best of one format where silver bullets, like this is the whole thing again. Like you said, they don't work unless it's going to go back to that same issue with Gohan, where everyone's going to try and run silver bullets for just that. I mean, I don't see hand destruction coming back anytime soon. I think green's fine as it is, to be honest. Like if they hit anything, I'll just be like, why are you doing this? And I don't even play the color.
They're just gonna do something so rude.
Yeah, like when they banned Roshi.
See, for me, I think they're gonna do an errata to Demigirl Unison. Is what I think. Just because it's green, but the thing is, there's nothing that ties it to green. Like, I mean, I run Demigirl Unison in a red-green deck that I have with a red leader, just because it gives me turn 1 access, free cutting because they're going to want to swing at it, and then I get access to Frieza. It's a red deck. Like, why am I running Demigirl? But it's better than Yamcha in what I'm trying to do.
What's crazy? There's a time where I would have agreed with you, been like, because I always see Demigirl Unison, but the only green deck I've ever seen now is King Cold, so I forgot that existed for a minute.
And I guess even speaking about King Cold, I think they might even look at errating the King Vegeta Unison as well. Because I mean, just being able to go -3 activate battle, triple strike, and he's a huge dude. And I do feel like it's going to be an errata, something a little bit more fair, something along the lines of double strike instead of triple strike.
I don't know. The way that when set 13 came out, it came out with that card as well as the black card that says I'm not going to be hit by strike, or you're going to have to neg marker off your unison, which already would make me single strike again. And there's also the mirror match where that unison is completely useless in the mirror match for swinging for game, because you're just going to keep your unstoppable or whatever the hell the field is that gives you double strike, because the pop effect is that you pop a marker off a unison. So like anytime in the mirror match that unison's only going to be used to give you a free field, and against black, like brainwash no more is a thing, as well as that new, which can be played in anything technically, but one energy. Yeah, that's the extra card I was looking for, which came out with the set where it's like, here's the good unison, here's the thing to stop it. Have fun.
You're not wrong, but I figured I'd have to pick something that was kind of meta relevant.
That's true.
But I think it's going to be Demigirl Green, if anything.
Building on where you're coming from, Paragus the Sacrifice. I think that could get hit because it's really good in OG Broly. It's really good in.
That's not
King Cold.
I don't see that.
No, I don't see the green with that card finishing top a lot, especially OG green.
Yeah, it's because I keep losing the King Cold.
Well, with your infinite power of warping cards and hand control with Dark Brawly, you can't beat green.
I can't beat green with anything, man. I can't beat it with blue. I can't beat it with black. I'm about to start playing green, even though I know it's the worst color.
Come to the dark side.
Honestly,
the only deck I can't beat right now is Dark Brawly.
Anybody have any other green cards?
Yeah.
Outside, like all the cards that I've seen, it's like one of the cards that I find really good and like not high cost is that 3-drop Rosie Heroine one.
Mhm.
I think she's
That
pretty
card's
cheap and
busted,
everything. Yeah, it's
she's
really good. And like we already know that next set we're getting more heroine support. That green extra card seems really good on my side. So I don't know, maybe she's still gonna maybe stay around and everything, but I think it's gonna be maybe a major problem later on outside of Ribrianne from the drop and everything.
Yeah, she's deflect too, which is dirty.
yeah.
Like, make her a triple strike discard too. That's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Guys want to do red?
Yeah, let's do my favorite color.
Yeah, you start.
Cool.
Yeah, you start.
I mean, we've already talked about it, but realistically, I think if it had to go, if we're gonna talk with King Piccolo first, they gotta touch drum. That's the only thing I can realistically think of. Banning it or limiting it, I don't know, because unless they're gonna give more options for the deck to play, I think that's the wrong way to go because there's already only really there's 3 targets as it is. If one has unique, so you can't really do much, and then there's symbol. So if they're gonna ban or limit drum, that's gonna reduce that.
By limit, do you mean unique or actual limit?
No, I mean like limit to like 1 or 2. Like actually, like that's the most you can run. What I would like is if they just put the unique tag on it. That I can live with because then I still have the targets to play the deck. Right? You can see them. You can put them in life and awaken without you won't ruin the deck, but you still make it a lot more fair than trying like when I can just put out 4 drums like consecutively and just for fun.
So to build on that with the drum, I actually think they're going to add the limit 1 new tag that they're introducing with the spirit boost. So I think that's what they're going to do to drum, where it's just limit 1 can only activate this ability once per turn on any copies across, right? I think that's what they'll do to drum, or just ban them outright. But I agree, drum I think is the card that needs to be hit in red.
With the limit 1, I think it wouldn't really do much because you really only play 1 each turn. Like if you tell me limit 1 it, then yeah, I'll play 1 on my turn, and I can play 1 defensively on your turn, and I get around that, right? It doesn't change the deck at all. So I think you need the tag.
It does stop you from doing combo leader skill, attack the demon clan, get a second drum.
That's true.
For 20k, which is like a completely BS move.
That's true, but like it's funny when it works.
So I'm gonna have a hot take item here because the list is about shaking up the meta here. I'm ready for Topo to go.
They can't be adding floodgates and then get rid of Topo.
So I don't know if Topo will get hit, but what may happen is they may target all like the monarchs. So King Vegeta, King Piccolo, something
you guys
common
coming after both my decks. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're gonna take one, leave the other. If you're gonna hit both, I'm just gonna cry, and then I'm gonna pick up a Jax, and no one's gonna be happy.
Hey,
I can see Topo going.
here's my take. This need to go. This is gonna be
Yeah.
good. This is gonna be gone.
That card has won more games than any other card in Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, man. one thing, if they really want to shake things up, this gonna get out.
And it's Champa and Kai.
Yeah, I would say that's the funny thing right there is that if they just ban Champa and they forget Kai even exists.
Oh man, my foil playset of Kai
it's Bandai.
Go up.
Yeah, it's Bandai. They have no clue.
Oh my Judge Champas.
Dude, don't even put that out there. But like, if they actually, ban Champa and leave Kai, that next Judge pack is gonna have Kai, and then they're gonna hit it.
100%.
Ooh, so spin on that one is it could even actually be an errata. Champa only works on battle cards.
Then it becomes
okay.
unplayable. Then it becomes unplayable. You might as well ban it.
Yeah, but
I mean, Mirror the creator loves Champa.
That's true.
But I got a personal one here. Just let it fucking die. Kill it with fire. Piccolo Junior Unison. I think that's the real problem with King Piccolo. I don't think the deck works.
Get out of here.
If they don't ban it, at least make it's auto once per turn.
Once per turn.
I can live with that. But if they actually get rid of the Unison, then it's the same thing. I riot.
If the only thing Red has is a couple good unisons. It's the only thing keeping Red relevant.
Dude,
it's not even good in any other deck, but it's just broken as hell inside of King Piccolo. Really.
Yeah. And then what you're going to see is people's just going to run Jiren after that happens.
Oh no, you can't because you need to rejuvenate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shows how much
hard disagree. I like Piccolo Jr. Anything I have SPRs of, I'd prefer not to be banned.
I'm with you on this, Armando. I 100% support this.
I got a lot of cards that are about to get hit, so.
All right. Anyone have anything else to add for red, or are we kind of feeling like we're tapped out here with what we think?
I'm good.
I think pretty much through red.
Yeah.
All right. So move on to blue, and then we'll save yellow for last.
Yeah. Who's our blue player?
I think that's
Um,
you.
Is it also me?
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
Senzu Bean. Senzu Bean should get banned. It
Senzu
should have been
Bean.
banned.
Senzu Bean
Yeah,
should have been
well,
banned set 4.
You know what? Sense of being limited would stop a lot of things and extending plays, and that would hit Mecha Frieza. That would hit blue also. Every blue leader basically.
Problem is, if you limit it, it just becomes unyielding trunks where everybody still runs one.
yeah, like it's still too
Might-
good to not run the 1 or 2 or whatever it's at.
Yeah,
You might
but
want-
one is better than 4, where you could extend turn 5 twice.
Dude, here's the thing: when you know your deck, especially if you build it, that 1 energy is all you need, right? Like that's sometimes that's all it takes, and that was the same issue with unyielding trunks, right?
Mhm.
It could save you that one, let you go off that 1 turn earlier, just because you could extend that extra energy, coupled with Bean back then. So there's also that. So I agree with Bean.
I don't agree with Bean. Just maybe they will, just because them saying they're gonna shake up the meta, whatever. But they would have banned Bean so long ago. It was so much worse of a card in earlier sets when aggro, like set 4 and set 5, like when shit was going nuts. That's when it should have been banned. I think that like before Unyielding went out, I think Senzu Bean should have went out before it. I know doing it for free, comboing was completely busted, which I agree. Unyielding, stay on the ban list forever, bring back Objection, but like, come on. But Sensu, I don't know. Zeno Button, yeah, Zeno Button. Even see when that was a card until this whole arrival mechanic thing started,
Dude,
nobody touched
I
it.
was upset about Zeno.
Nobody even cared about Zeno Button until, oh look, multicolor stuff. Wait, we can play stuff on the opponent's turn. Oh, I need this 4 of, please.
Dude, I was so sad. It got banned 2 weeks after my judges arrived, and I was like, well, at least I got to play them.
Yeah, I bought them at the what's the name, Niagara Falls Regionals back in 2019. Judge Foil playset. Very next card to get banned.
Nobody wants to see Android 17.
No,
take
I
a
was
hit.
gonna say if everyone's
I was
done, I
gonna
want to
say,
see Android 17
yeah.
turning the tide. Get that out of here.
That's what
That
I was
should-
going to say too.
That should be limiting. It's so thematic.
They're banning it. They're banning it.
No,
There's no
don't
question
don't
about
even-
it. It's just banned.
Armando, it's the same argument as Bean. If there's one, they're still gonna play it because it's too good.
Because every time I see it, I'm like, this is just like the Tournament of Power, man. 17's coming. It's like my hand's trash. I have nothing left. My opponent's bodying me. This is gonna swing it every time. And you play it, and your opponent's just like, oh, did you have the 17? Like when your opponent says, do you have the 17? And you know they're hopeless. Oh,
How many times have I said that to you? I'm like, just tell me if you have 17. I'm like, just show me 17. We can scoop now. And you're just like, I'm like, okay, next game.
Dude, that when I'm playing against Baby, especially like Baby Vegeta, whether it's King Piccolo or King Vegeta, if I'm at that turn before because they've installing me, I don't care how many resources I waste. Turn 6, I'm either killing him or I'm going down to 17 next turn. I don't care. It's too good. The card literally wins the game. That's all. So, I mean, I can see it staying at 1. I would like to see it go personally.
I'm fine with 17 staying. I like a few of you guys. I really think it should be Bean, and the biggest reason isn't just because it can go into other colors. Blue's identity, like mono blue, is attached to Bean, and it's not allowed to explore avenues of being able to do ramp, at least in a moderately effective way. It's not allowed to have boss monsters that aren't going to be banned purely because of Bean. I think no, seriously, like you look at Gogeta 7, like one, that card shouldn't have been printed. That was stupid. But end of the day, like when you combine a lot of these cards with Bean, it just makes it like dumb. Like even Mecha Frieza half fixes it taking Bean out.
Yeah.
But mono blue, I don't think that's a color that's going to be allowed to ever be aggressive in any way until Bean is gone.
you're
But,
telling me my set 11
I just think
Geneva
it's gonna
aggro
be
deck
both.
isn't.
I just think it's going to be both that are going to get hit.
That's
Yeah,
realistic.
because Bean shakes up the meta, like you said, because it's so splashable in so many different types of deck, and then 17 because you can have just a horrible matchup against who you're playing against, and if you can stall till turn 7, you win. Like it doesn't matter what they have, unless of course they got shit ton of blockers, but who plays blockers anymore except for Drum?
For
Everybody's
me,
playing blockers right now.
the ones I'm thinking about is the Reboost Soul Striker leader. I think like whatever sets come out, that leader is gonna overshadow any new blue leader that's gonna get out.
That's true. That is just literally as soon as all the Gohan stuff came out, I was like, yeah, this would look great in Soul Striker. But what about the
Yeah.
Gohan leader? Who cares?
Yeah, he untaps 1. I
Yeah.
untap 2.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You're definitely not wrong, there, Carl.
And my other thing on the edge is that blue sparking negate. That
Oh,
untaps
Deep
too.
Magic?
Yeah.
Oh no, they ain't gonna touch the D.
No, man.
They
I
made-
love the D, but
You
damn.
gotta leave the D alone.
No, touch the D.
No, that's
Yeah, the only reason I'm gonna say no is Red finally got that counter where it makes it useless, and I want you to spark. The amount of times I've hit baby players with that and won, it needs to stay.
the thing is every blue card is like every defensive blue card is so overcosted because Bandai took into account Dimension Magic.
Yep.
Like,
True. But still, we could be
Wishful
surprised.
thinking for the non-blue players.
Well, yeah. Well, I want to play Bojack, but damn. Yeah, I think like usually like if you look back at I'm gonna talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, but sometimes random shit happens. That might be something.
Fair enough.
I've said I expect this to be a Yu-Gi-Oh ban list where they just neuter all the expensive decks in one swing.
And then they bring out the next expensive deck in the next set, and everyone's like,
Force you to get a case of the new set. Yeah.
Mhm.
it's gonna be the same thing, right? 3 sets of Konami support, the deck's on top. Third set, sell it before the next set's revealed because it's gone.
So basically, what you're saying is that none of my decks are being touched.
Safe. That's safe.
I think we only have
Any-
yellow left, or is anyone left on blue?
I think we all did.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good on moving to yellow.
So I
There's
think
there's a lot
Jaudat
of
should
shit
start us
going on.
off on yellow with the
Yeah.
new yellow player.
Hey.
How am I the new yellow?
I was
field
gonna
player?
say this guy couldn't let go of Sin Shenron since he saw the
New
face of
player.
that card.
Let me reword new mecha player.
I'll let Nick start us off because he's the new yellow player.
Wouldn't say that new, but yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think this is a pretty popular opinion. I think it just makes sense to just straight up, just like Karl said with reboot Soul Striker, just ban mecha. I mean, yeah, it's my main leader right now, but it's the same thing. Anything that gets played in yellow now is just why put it in something else? Throw it in mecha, really. Unless it's tagged in with you need this specific leader and stuff like that. Then we're just staying in that whole trap of
And
archetypes.
even then, you're probably just going to put it in Mecha.
You're like, well, my opponent doesn't read the card.
Yeah, I mean, I said it to I talked to Nick about this before. I still think Mecha's gonna be the first leader in this game to get errata twice.
I just think straight up ban it. Just get it gone. There's no point. Like they tried it again, cool. They got some people excited. It did well in some tournaments, but just I don't know what the hell they were thinking printing that and then printing Power of Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and if they ban that, it makes way for Topo.
So
Saying
here's
Topo Android.
here's my thing with yellow. Here's what I think is good. There's what I want to see gone, which is the Mecha Leader and Power of Super Saiyan, which I think are the right hits, one or the other. Like you don't have to hit both, but one at least. Realistically, what I think is going to happen is Unite Assemble is either going to. I mean, I'd prefer if they errated it so at least the U9 deck can play it. So like lock it to U9 leaders. So at least Bergamo has something, because honestly, that it's not a great and it's not a great deck, but it's still fun. I think that's the way to go. But if they ban it, they ban it. That's what I think is going to happen, because hitting U9 doesn't really, it doesn't hit mecha that hard. I mean, it definitely helps with them not having, you know, like a 16 card hand anymore, but it doesn't deter them from what they want to do, which is just tap everything out.
Yeah, with Power of Super Saiyan, before it's like you kind of need to hit 2-3 U9s. Now with Power of Super Saiyan, if you're seeing that, you're really just like, well, if I can hit 1 U9, we're good.
Yeah.
That's what it
Plus-
basically feels like now.
Plus, there's that new Zamasu coming out, which is basically for a blue and a yellow. It's just what counter anything 4 or less, whether it's a unison, battle card, whatever. So, you know, turns 1 to 4, you're either not going to have anything stick on the board, and if you manage to get something to stick, it's going to be tapped. So,
Yeah.
There's a couple cards I'd like to see get hit, like Vegeta Final Flash, I think should get hit. Cold Bloodlust, I think should have been banned 2 sets ago.
dude, Cold Bloodlust, when they left it at 1, it was just a half measure. They were like, it's never going to be used. Then Green Broly started using it, and it was still good. And it's just even at 1.
If you can run it, you splash yellow. Like
Exactly. Right?
So-
It's that same thing. Dude, in yellow, in starter Broly, I literally ran 4 yellow cards, and one of them was Bloodlust, just so I could run Bloodlust.
Yeah, especially the Broly stuff there too. It's like, okay, freeze his army. Well, I guess I'll just add Planet Vegeta, whatever. I'll put that as energy and use Bloodlust. Maybe I'll use it once to search out a Saiyan card, but
Dude, yeah, or even easier at that time, because Janemba was running around. You just played that Whis that whenever they untapped you, they had to warp a card or whatever it was. Or sorry, it removed the energy.
yep.
Yeah, it was just like, that's all you run, 3 of those and a Bloodlust, and you're good to go. But I digress.
Absolute Annihilation. I'm going to jump in for somebody else. That card can go. That card's cancerous. Like, it doesn't.
Dude, yes.
It's not like it shouldn't have deflect and barrier. It should have one or the other, and then it shouldn't have a permanent. It should be like a once per turn. Your opponent has to tap an extra energy to use an extra card. And the fact it's not even the card itself is grotesquely unbalanced. It's the fact that it's in the same deck as Bergamo. It's in the same deck as Final Spirit Cannon.
Yeah.
It's in the same deck as the Vegeta unit that can tap you down. Like, there's just way too much where you can just stop your, like, there are so many games I've sat on Sparking Negates and been like, sweet, I'm tapped out because he's going to tap my energy anyway. I'll have the Sparking Negate in my hand, I'll be fine. And then they play Absolute Annihilation, and I'm like, oh, man, I might as well scoop. Because now I got 3 dead cards in my hand.
Dude, I feel that the amount of times Nick has done that to me, and I'm just sitting there holding Wolfang Fist. Dude, that was the single reason I just took that card out of the deck. I was like, it's not worth it. It's not free.
No such thing as free.
No, I agree with you. I've noticed that Armando and I, we have the same likes and dislikes here because we're playing like we like the same decks. So we're like, we want to see the same problem cards gone, so our decks can run free.
Yeah, exactly. Just let me roam free. Let me just burst 5 and play everything from my drop.
You dick, you're gonna make me paint an energy? Meanwhile, red and black. Oh dear lord.
Any other yellow cards you guys got on the chopping block?
Nothing else that hasn't been mentioned. I agree with the Mechie leader. It's same thing with Soul Striker, like you were saying. It's really hard to get away from him because it's just such a good, like, generic yellow leader that you go, oh, well, look at that. That looks fun and cheeky. Let's play that. But it's better at this. And it's going to happen so many times. So I think for design purposes, they're going to have to ban it.
Okay, closing thoughts on multicolors.
Multicolors, dude. I mean, I know we're still in the Bandai said we're in the monocolor block. I'd like to see it come back, but I'd like to see it come back to a point where both can coexist. You know what I mean? Like when multis came out originally, monocolor just was gone, right? And dude, if Android 21 Predator comes back though, it's the same thing. I would like to see her come back, though. That's just
I-
personal opinion.
I say ban all the multicolor super combos. They're not good for the game. They break certain decks, right? Or they're like the fact that none of them have a life restriction and they're all so good. I think they inhibit deck design, and there's no reason to run any super combos from any new set because you're either running the bottom deck draw 2 super combo or you're running the multicolor super combo. So I think the multicolor super combos got to go. And you know what? The bottom deck draw 2 combos too. Get rid of them.
And just keep Paragus. Everyone's correct with that? Good.
Keep Paragus.
There we go. We're all good. Okay.
Paragus and Hellas.
There we
Having the
go.
best super combo in the game didn't help green.
You know, to be honest though, like I can't even lie about that. We had Paragus since set 6. Green did not do much. I mean, Surge Piccolo, even then it was just like run the multicolor though. That was the closest.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'll say on the multicolor. I think they gotta. They're not gonna kill the Invoker leader. They'll never touch that because that's just like their child. But I think just same reason as Gogeta 7 when they banned it, because they're like, oh yeah, like now this is just getting abused in this control deck that already says no turns 1 through 5 and then drops this on interaction, blah 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 blah. The excuse to ban that leader in that deck specifically is the same thing for Cat Blow.
Dude,
I think Cat Blow should just go, and all the
Yeah.
Invoker players who are just like, no, then there's just no way for us to win. It's like, dude, they'll print something new that can be interacted with. Like,
Or
you gotta
honestly-
remember, they all thought that Cat Blow was bad.
5 energy?
Right.
What the hell is this?
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
an Invoker card out. Yeah. You know, you got a bunch of those in that deck that work, and now you got even more support in set 10 with a 3-drop.
That deck will find a way, and if the players can't find a way, believe me, Bandai will. So I think that complete uninteractable deck and win con itself is just it's just look at the best Invoker pilots. They get burnt out playing their deck. No one has fun playing with it or against it. Just get rid of Cat Blow, try something new for a win condition.
I built that deck when it first came out with SCR, played it, sold it. It is a boring ass deck to play. But I will add on the Cat Blow. I think they'll actually do a limit once per turn because it won't kill the deck completely, but it makes it where you actually have an interactable chance. Because the way the deck goes right now is they go, I'm gonna play this guy, play the 6-drop out, and then they go Cat Blow, Cat Blow, Cat Blow. There's 4 damage. And if they change it where they're playing the 6-drop, it's still instant Cat Blow 2 damage. And then you got another turn to hopefully try to do something. And if you don't, well, then they go Cat Blow 2 damage, win the game. At least you get some interaction when it gets to that point.
Which is also funny because you're turning a control deck into a combo deck, which doesn't make sense.
On my part, I wouldn't see any problem going Cat Blow going only to 1. I think that's the best way to do it. It's still going to be playable. You're going to have it out with that one random burn.
It's the same thing with all those half measures. Just get it gone, give them a new win condition.
So what
Honestly, sorry, go ahead.
what I'm seeing from this team chat is that you guys all own Cell Zeno.
Oh, I know.
I was gonna mention Cell Zeno, and I was gonna say I don't think so. I don't think it should be hit. People have said it's for the last like 3 or 4 sets that it should be hit. I played in my King Cole deck. That's just because I'm a bum and I don't have the Majin Buu SCR.
I only have the $500.
Yeah, I got lucky and pulled it. But to that effect, I think it was a lot more busted when Sin aggro was really big. Now it's when do you see Cell Zeno? I literally have been the only person that in the last since set 13 has come out that I've seen Cell Zeno in. No other green, no yellow deck. Like
So,
I don't
the
think it's
argument
even worth
against
it.
The argument against that is it's just a time bomb. Then it's, if something else gets hit, then Sin aggro comes back, or any other yellow or green deck that can abuse it. It becomes a problem again, right?
Tell you
So
exactly why people aren't playing it right now. and it's the card Armando brought up, Vegeta's Final Flash.
Yeah.
When you have the most popular deck in the format, who runs either 3 or 4 of that card,
Okay,
why would you
fair
want
enough.
to play that secret rare?
Why would you want to play Quad Strike when you can play a counter instead? That's true.
Yeah, you play a turn 5, make him ditch 3. That's the fun part, but I don't know.
The random Snipe 3 is also just a stupid effect that card shouldn't have.
Oh, especially when it gets dual attack as well, and you have other cards to snipe too. Like, oh, it
And
feels
deflect.
great. And deflect.
The dual attack I can get behind.
Well,
but when I
okay,
have
imagine
7
deflect. Obviously, if that
When I
card
have
didn't have
s-
deflect, like
Trash,
just
unplayable.
just against blue, just okay. I've sacked my whole entire board and God Sealing. Okay, and I'll scoop my cards here. Have a good day. Burn in hell, and you leave.
Alright,
So
any
I
other
know we've been talking
multicolors?
about stuff that needs to be banned and all that, but I would just like to see some more Surge Broly support. That's all. That's just my closing thought on multicolors.
If we're talking about Surge thing, I want a blue-yellow Bardock. God damn it.
Oh
You're-
yes, Karl.
You're not wrong. You're not
Okay.
wrong.
Okay,
Kefla doesn't
we
even
all know
exist.
Multicolor isn't happening until the end of this new Unison Warrior boost block, so we should
Yeah, exactly.
we
Like,
got at
the
least,
thing is so far
at least
off
2
now.
sets before Surge comes back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so now what
At
they're
least
going
another
to
year.
do with the multicolor is they're going to surprise everybody and make everybody happy and give a multicolor Ginyu. Because how the hell do you come out with Ginyu and hit every single color? Like, oh, here's red Ginyu. Oh, we're going to reprint it with yellow. We'll reprint it with blue. What the fuck?
I want a Ginyu draft box leader that counts as all colors.
Okay, no, because the draft box, I hate what they did. The draft box leaders, like understand
So-
why they did it, but like, come on, I liked having the unique, like, oh, okay, this cauliflower leader actually good at the time when it came out and stuff like that. And then the baby, oh, this is just actually a better baby leader.
The blue Krillin was nice too.
Yeah, the blue
Yeah,
Krillin too.
Damn, I bought 4 draft boxes and I didn't pull Mecha Freeze out.
Yeah, it's true. Mecha was in the first one.
Yeah. I think as far as bans and whatnot goes, the ban list discussion, I think we've kind of exhausted that. If we have anything else anyone wants to add last minute here, because otherwise this is going to go on forever, and we're just going to be talking about something random within the next 15 minutes here.
I want that 3-drop cell come back. That's
Team
what I-
Berserk out.
And Karl, to answer that, never. All right, it's
We
never
should do
coming
a-
back.
He's gonna have it.
Force. Okay, Ginyu Force pose maybe.
On the camera.
And you guys look like idiots. Sorry. That's good.
He got you
I'm
guys.
glad I'm the only one who didn't do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
You
I'm
see
not
me
gonna
do
lie, Karl was so quick on it though. Like he knew, and I loved that.
Alright.
Oh, man.
All you
That's
like
so
to
good,
just
Agent.
jump up and do the
Yes.
burner stance with no pants.